The painting. Am I finished? Can I see? Oh, yes. Yes. Is it of something, do you think? Or am I being too obvious? I can see a room with no ceiling, and is that the sky above the wall? Do you like it? Oh, of course. Though I don't want to sound vain. Truth is, I had no idea I looked like that. I can't look back at myself or move, so my identity, if that's the word, is a mystery to me, as it is to all of us, I suppose. In the sense that we didn't ask to be made, so it's hidden from us. Our originating purpose, I mean. That's a universal problem. So I gather. There's always something you are from the start that you can't do anything about, isn't there? Oh, don't get me wrong, I find all the articles about reinventing yourself very appealing. No. But I think what reinventing yourself tends to mean is that people with money have gone out and done some shopping. Because it's the same with plastic surgery, isn't it? They come back with new things, new eyes, and it doesn't make any odds because there was someone there to begin with. I suppose people want to look more like their image of themselves. Yes, but other people don't see that image, do they? I mean, thank God I'm not a portrait. The rows, the tears. You think, how can the sitter be so surprised by the result? Really? But then rich people, and they usually are rich, not always, but mostly, they just are unrealistic and controlling. The mistake in the first place is to imagine you can control how others see you. Don't you have any sense of what you're like? Well, I do now. Now that you've gone and, held the mirror up to art. But it's a strange thing. Look, paintings are alive. Kandinsky had that bit right. But he didn't go on to draw the obvious conclusion about living things, which is that their inner lives are usually at odds with their appearances. The Mona Lisa, for example. Well, you wouldn't know it, but inside she's a hoot. Whereas all of the Francis Bacon's, great works, indisputably, but really all they care about is money. Anyway, no, I do not know what I'm like. Is there any trace of my ambition for you, in you? I suppose when I'm on my own, Tuesday afternoons, I sometimes do get the urge to be seen. But generally speaking, I'm just happy to hang out. I think that's my natural state. I'm pretty relaxed about it. You wanted me to have a separate existence, right? Well, here it is. What about your significance as art? I'm made up of gestures, that much I do know. Brushstrokes, chafings, erasures. I can feel the sore parts, the patches of abraded paper where you rubbed out and washed away. But like any whole thing, any entire living person, I don't know how my bits and pieces got put together, and I don't really understand their significance. I can't speak about it. I suspect that I have the kind of meaning that floats, like a web, between my surface and your eyes. Whereas the things people say about me, the words I hear whispered in my presence, often sound forced, strangely fearful. The sort of thing you say when you don't know the answer but want to be taken seriously, treated a certain way. You mean like a too heavy frame round a delicate drawing? Yes. Frames are like job interviews, aren't they? I always think, why couldn't you say all this over a drink in the bar? What would be the right frame? Well, the right frame is the inevitable one. Where you are. It may not be made of wood or metal, but it's there, and it can be anything. The wall, ambient sound, air pressure, the thoughts of others, especially those. The fear of being thought stupid or unaesthetic. Ah, yes, that one comes round a lot, but there's other stuff too. I mean, in general, there's so much suppressed emotion in front of paintings. To do with whatever else people have been doing. Relief and fatigue. All the hidden considerations that flood silence. And you can detect all this emotion coming towards you. Oh yes. Even though you've no sense of yourself. Strange, isn't it? I think part of the reason for that might be that what I'm getting from the people in front of me isn't really... It's not an interpretation of me or my content, whatever that is. It's just a reaction. I've licensed some kind of reaction. I see it as a sort of mind gas coming to the surface again and again until the thinkers experience a pang of self-awareness. Like catching yourself dribbling on a train after a snooze. They catch themselves in the act of drifting, having a mental excursion. And they turn away a bit crossly, deliberately. In that moment, they seem to hate me. They're embarrassed. The suspicion of art is closely related to the fear of being exposed. The people who really see me see themselves in me. I don't mean their likenesses. I mean their needs and their obsessions, their secret lives, because that's what they're really thinking about. Can you give me an example? Yes. The last man to look at me was replaying something someone had said to him, over and over, the same thing. You should have been here yesterday. Daniel and Rachel were here yesterday. We had strawberries. That's what he was thinking. And suddenly he was crying. One of his friends had lent him money, but it wasn't anywhere near enough. Does this happen to you often? All the time. Teachers staring at me thinking about sex. Tired people conducting thought experiments. A woman yesterday stopped yawning only when it struck her that her core age was not 59, but 7. Her husband, she realised, had always been 83. Their eldest son was 47 and their youngest daughter 21. Only the 21-year-old is actually 21. What about the people who really do think about you, who have opinions and descriptions? Not convinced, I'm afraid. They're too strict with themselves. What they're thinking has no painful aspect to it, no embarrassment, no secret. What's yours? What is your secret? You want to know? Yes. I have a strong urge to deflect. I prefer it when people look away. Insecurity. What else? Sometimes I want a frame. Sometimes I would like to know what it feels like to be an art object. Maple or lime dash would be nice. What else? How many secrets do you want? I'm waiting for, what did you call it? I'm waiting for the pang. You know, it's nice that you take an interest. I love your questions. But I'm not a source of revelation. And I think that my pang is that I make this plain. And it is just the hardest thing to accept. It is just so very hard to get at the truth behind beauty and really to accept that art is not some kind of refuge. And what? That is its purpose. The purpose of art, I mean. To show us there's no refuge. A sick girl stood in front of me a few hours ago. She had a little monologue running. Not a real monologue, because people don't think like that, but a dusting of thoughts and emotions that overlaid her experience of me. She was turning the matter over, thinking, I like that orange at the far end. And then, suddenly, you know, for all that I tell myself I'll be brave enough in the event of, in this event, I know I will find it hard. I already suspect that it won't work out so categorically. I will cling on. I will struggle to the last, because my deepest instincts are to breathe, to surface somewhere, to gulp in more of the miracle. And she went away utterly unconsoled, but with a bit more of the miracle in her lungs, because now at least she knew her life wasn't an object she could contemplate at a distance. What did she do next? I don't know. It all happened very quickly.